Says we're live. Groovy beans. Okay. Let's make sure everything's up. Alrighty. It says we're live. Fella babies. We'll wait until it's actually 2. And make sure everything's good. Okay. 30 whole seconds. There we go. What was that? All right, we're going to close. All righty then. Well, we got 1 more minute. Let's make sure we're good to go. Everything looks peachy. And we're gonna see if anyone. There we go. All right, it's almost 2. I will start at 2. And anyone that wants to can watch it on the replay. Well, it's 2 o'clock straight up. Fellow babies, it's Marie. If you're watching this on replay, welcome to my live. That's not live when you're watching it because it's on a replay. It's 2 o'clock. It is Tuesday, March 21st. I'm Anne-Marie. I am the proprietor of the page, New Day, New Way with Anne-Marie. I also founded the group, New Day, New Way, a group for excellence in vision. And they keep giving me little notices on the screen. My bad. So, welcome to today's live. We are doing part 3 of Everything is Possible. And this week is going to be following the blog post that I had on Monday regarding the quick fix versus excellence. And I titled it Excellence because that's what my group is about. I generally, it's more for entrepreneurs, but not only for entrepreneurs. Excellence is for everybody. Now, the first part of this is going to be kind of the thank you, Captain Obvious portion of the program, because we all know what a quick fix is in some form, some of us in more dangerous forms than others, but we live in the society that caters to the quick fix, and the best example of that is the internet. If you click on something and it doesn't load in 2 seconds, you're off to something else. If nobody remembers the days of dial-up, Lord have mercy. But other than the internet, the quick fix is what everybody wants for everything. And my favorite example of this is the diet industry. Raise your hand if you have battled with your weight in one form or another, whether it's that you don't have enough of it or that you have too much of it. And everybody for decades has made gazillions of dollars off of, hey, if you'll do this 1 time a day, you'll lose 30 pounds overnight, or you'll lose 100 pounds in 30 days, or what have you. Take the pill, put this in your water, drink this and do that. But you don't really have to actually do anything other than, you don't have to change your eating habits. You don't have to exercise. You don't have to do this. And I can tell you from experience, and I am, just disclaimer here, I'm not a health guru. I am not an exercise coach. As you can see, if I was, I would coach myself. So I'm not a health professional. I'm a person who's been there and done that for, let's see, as far as the diet industry is concerned, about 40-something years. But it's not only the diet industry, it's everything else to do with your health. It's, scams on products from, protein shakes to supplements to whatever. Everything's supposed to make you feel good, just like that. Supposed to make you skinnier, just like that. And they can also, if you got the right doctor, you can pop a pill and cure everything from a broken heart to fear and depression and everything else. And, we kind of went through that. I was born in the late 60s, back when doctors still medicated housewives to keep them calm and happy. So I don't believe in the quick fix. And I can tell you from experience with not only the diet industry, um, but with pretty much everything else in my life. You want to, make your hair different. You want to improve your skin. You want to do all these things. While I'm talking about skin, let me go ahead and that way. Apologize. We've got some good sunlight coming in today, and it's going to be like hit and miss with this. So nothing that is worth your worry and stress, the really important things that you want to make a difference in your life, these are not things that are quick fixes. So let me take a look really quick because they keep telling me that the light is weird, and I know that. Angela M. Downs. Oh my God, that's my best friend for life. Angela M. Downs. I love you. Bless your heart for being here. Angela M. Downs is my best friend for life, and she's a lady who can also attest to the fact that there are no quick fixes for things that have to do with our personal selves, our bodies, everything else. About the only quick fix I can come up with for, how you look would be like, cosmetic dentistry or something, but there's no quick fixes. So the things that we're trying to fix with me and what I do here really don't have anything to do with how you look, because there's a whole lot of places to go for that. That's not why I'm here. I don't sell makeup or skincare or any kind of products like that. What I'm talking about today is the things we want to fix. If there's something inside of us that we know is a deal that's caused us to have bad relationships, or that we get on our own nerves. There's things about our person. We were happy with who we are in general. We talked about this before, but there's things, right, that we need to kind of improve on. And all of our relationships suffer if we don't. We can't change other people. But if we make changes to us, and that starts to take hold and emanate out, it changes the relationships and the people around us. Now, the things that we need to change are the things that are like our health, our level of happiness, our level of satisfaction with our life, our level of love for ourselves. These are things that there is no quick fix for. You have to make choices every day. You have to do the things every day, and this is something that's always been hard for me. As you can see, I carry extra weight. There's a whole bunch of reasons for that, but that's not what this video is about. It's about putting in the work. And so a couple of years ago, actually since I turned 50, but mostly a couple of years ago, I started making decisions that were better for me. It's hard to do it every day. This is what I'm telling you is very, very simple. It's just very, very hard because every single day you have to choose you. And that means when you get up, do something moving around that makes you feel better. When you go to have breakfast, choose something that's going to be, a good source of protein, get you started for the day, make you feel better. What are you putting in that's going to make you feel better? And that includes our self-talk. That includes taking time to be quiet in our prayer and meditation. It takes this dedication to schedule. You put yourself on a schedule. It's boring and it makes us sound like old people, but I swear since I did this, everything about my life has changed. So, super quick, because they keep telling me that the light's weird. I'm just going to get rid of that. Getting on my own nerves. Getting on my own nerves. So the instant gratification society that we live in doesn't want to do the work. And that's how come, you can find relationship counselors on every corner, yet divorce rates go up. I can personally attest to the fact that marriage is hard. Relationships are hard, whether you're married or not, but you add marriage into the mix, and it's hard. It's hard because there's two separate people who each come with their own issues that they haven't dealt with personally, and then everybody brings baggage from previous relationships and ends up being a great big old party. And sometimes that's not such a good thing. So the hard part is, do you dig in and do the work? I know Angela did. And I know that I've had to. The work means every single day you make the choice to do what's going to make you happy, what's going to make you feel good, what's going to make you feel better about yourself, what's going to make you feel more like you than you've ever felt in your whole life. Positive self-talk. do your meditations, connect with your higher power, connect with the universe, connect with the energy around you, because the energy around you has everything to do with what comes to you. People say, well, I have bad luck. No, you don't. You don't have bad luck. We make our own luck. You don't have bad luck. You might have an off day, but if you stop and think about it, you got up with the wrong energy and you didn't do anything about it, probably. And I used to poo-poo this, but years ago, but the energy you create for yourself every day creates your attitude, creates how you look at things, it creates how you react to things, it creates how positive you are. Something you might do for somebody else just because you could, even if it's just throwing a compliment to a lady in the grocery store. What came to mind was you can't fix stupid. Well, we're not talking about stupid, but there's no quick fix for that either. There's no quick fix for the things that are basically wrong in our lives and in society. There's no quick fix for that. Everybody that wants to have a better life, that wants to be more fulfilled and more happy and more centered and peaceful, it's work. There's nothing on the planet worth having that's not, going to cause you some work, which is, like I say, the Captain Obvious portion of the program. The problem is taking action is sometimes kind of scary. You're not sure exactly what to do or, what have you. And there's a process involved there where you've got to sit down, like we were talking about in the first two episodes. I hate to call them episodes because I'm not acting. But when we start to take stock of what we want to change with us, how we see ourselves, how we like ourselves, improving our self-talk means stop saying negative things to yourself. If you drop something, if you forgot something, if you whatever, you've got to stop calling yourself names. You've got to stop saying that you look like crap in an outfit. You've got to stop, oh, well, I don't like my eyebrows, or my teeth aren't white enough, or my ears are too big. You got to stop all that, because all of that is coming from you comparing you to other people and what other people are going to think. And guess what? I mean, that's a fruitless effort. First of all, the other people aren't thinking that. They're thinking about themselves. And secondly, you look like you, and God made you for a reason. And I'm not here to preach religion, although I could for like 2 hours, but I won't do that. I'm going to say you were put here for a reason, exactly as you are. And in order for anybody else to see and benefit from your light and your love, you have to love you first. If you're a person who reaches out to people, if you're a person who camps themselves away from people, you want to know why. I mean, maybe you'll never be a person who's super social, whatever. You don't have to be super social to not be afraid to interact with other people and be involved in your life. We don't get but one shot at it, and it's not a dress rehearsal. And if you sit and watch it go by because you didn't want to take action, there's going to come a day when you're going to lament that and really, really feel like, God, and then that's when the bad self-talk is going to come back. So where we are with that is your the three areas of your life: your physical, your personal, and if you're not retired, and I say that because I'm in the age group of people that some of us are, not me, but some people are, you're professional. If you no longer have professional and you're retired, then you have personal and physical to deal with. And if you're not taking care of yourself physically and emotionally, then how can you expect to take care of anybody else that you love? And that means, examining what baggage you have coming with you, examining why you're still carrying it. That baggage has a lot to do with your negative self-talk. It has a lot to do with how you treat yourself, and because of that, how you react to other people. So the quick fix doesn't exist, and wouldn't it be nice if it did? And how do you be happy when you're in financial struggle? All right, Miss Angela. Well, the thing is, part of what I do every day is outward gratefulness. Financial struggle is not a stranger to me. I have, as you know, but the other people don't. I have had very little, if any, time in my life where I was what you might call comfortable. I raised kids on a budget you would not believe. I've been homeless. I've been I've been sick. I've been everything else. Financial struggles are always hard. What I do is I sit down and go, okay. And nobody wants to do the deep dive into their finances. I had to do that several times in my life. I've done it recently because I left my job to go on my own and do a business, which this is part of. It's not the whole business, but it's part of what I do. And so, yeah, flying without a net, that's scary. I pray a lot and I put out the gratefulness because that's a positive energy that the universe recognizes, and it creates a give and take. And I find that back in the day when I used to worry and stew about it all the time, all I did was make myself miserable. I didn't have any kind of positive energy coming off of me. Nothing good was coming in to me or around me. And then, of course, it affects the other people in your life as well. It's not that anybody should ever be happy that they're in a financial struggle, but I personally, and this is just me, I find that I feel more comfortable if I'm driving the bus. And so I'm going to look at it from what can I do? What is there a change I can make? Is there something I can do to take better charge of it or to be more aware? I did a class recently on basic budgeting for young people because they don't teach that in school. And over the years in my job, you wouldn't believe the young people that don't know how to budget. They don't understand that you can't have a rent payment and a car payment that almost equals your monthly salary, and what are you going to pay the rest of your bills with? Nobody teaches that. Yeah, for people my age, we've been there and done that. We've budgeted on nothing. We've always, had to make ends meet. We've always had to sacrifice something. It's just, I think it's a decision. I'm going to just deviate for a minute and just say, I think it's a decision. How you see yourself. I choose not to be a victim. I've been a victim. I didn't like being a victim. I don't cater well to that. And so I see being worried about it and stressed about things that I only have moderate control over. To me, it's like tapping out. And I can't do that. And I won't do that. Not as long as I'm breathing. As long as I'm breathing, and as long as God is my God, and as long as my heart is beating, there's an answer. And I'm going to keep looking until I find it. There's always something that God meant for us to do. And expressing that gratefulness and making sure that, we all fall short every day, but making sure that I try every day to do what I know and my moral core is right. I don't even yell at drivers anymore. I used to be the worst road rage person. Talk about self-talk. This doesn't faze me anymore. It doesn't, because I don't have time to deal with that anymore. I want to be focused on the things that are the most important. And even on days when my husband Doug and I drive each other nuts, which we kind of do now that I'm working from home. Not as bad as all that. I'm really kind of joking, but if you've ever lived with somebody, you understand what it is to kind of, you just kind of at some point in each other's way, and there's just, whatever. And so if I'm stressing over something, I go outside on the porch, or I go off by myself, and I'll just start thanking God for one thing, and then another thing, and then another thing, and it just compounds, and then I start going, okay. Because fear is where that comes from. Fear of losing everything, fear of not having what you need, fear of, and people in everybody's having financial struggles right now, and everybody's afraid. But fear, coming from a place of fear, we can't solve a problem. The only way we can solve it is to think it and then act on it. And being afraid, it's like the negative force is just like messing with your head all the time. And there's no quick fix for that either. I stand in line every day behind people buying lottery tickets. I guess that would be the ultimate quick fix, wouldn't it? We all joke about it. Some of us are serious. Let's say you went out and bought a lottery ticket today and you won $12 million. And that would be what they pay you after the, pay $12 million. Somebody asked you that question. How many times in life has somebody asked you that question? What would you do if you won $12 million? Please don't go to Disney World. And if you're not sure why, watch the news. Money won't solve your problems. Money is just a vehicle. Money can create problems. Here's the thing about money. It can be a quick fix for if your car payment's behind. Yeah. It can be a quick fix if your house payment's behind. Money doesn't create bad people. Money magnifies the qualities of the person that you already are and maybe didn't stop to think about. So, yeah, there's some pretty bad people that have a lot of money. They could be doing more good with it than they do. That's on them. They have to answer for that. But the only quick fix, I mean, and that's just an immediate, you win $12 million, you pay off your car. That's a quick fix. Most people that win the lottery, I don't know, I think it's in excess of 90% of people that win the lottery don't have it after 5 years. To start to look at the long term, and this is not supposed to be about money, it's supposed to be about quick fixes, but to start to look at the long term, it has to be a change in how your brain and your personality and your mentality approaches anything, including getting up in the morning. The way you come at an issue has everything to do with how it's going to get solved. And the thing is, we're smart people. Plenty smart people. And we've got a lot of experience. And we can look back and see, I remember that time, and I got through that pretty well. Or I remember that time, and I had no idea what I was doing, and Lord have mercy. I wish I'd handled that better. That's the benefit of being 50 plus, that you can look back and you have those points of contact or points of reference, whatever. There's always going to be challenges, and there's always going to be something that I call the line drive. An unexpected line drive, and you either got to duck it or catch it, one of those two. The unexpected, that's my Achilles heel right there. And when I pray, talk to the universe, it's like, I got to know how everything's going to come out ahead of time, and it never works out that way. Never works out that way. There's no plug-in, there's no app, the universe is going to do what it does, But putting in the work every day on ourselves, I can't even begin to tell you how that changes so much. And it doesn't matter if you're religious or not. It doesn't matter if you're, poor or not. It doesn't matter where you come from or where you live. It's about, I guess the basic thing is being at peace with who you are and being at peace with how you go about treating yourself, so that you, in turn, you treat others better than yourself. That's crazy. But it really shifts how you look at things. And it shifts, to me, it shifted everything about not just what I focused on as the most important things, but how I went about doing what I needed to do every day. I don't have a quick fix answer. And the work is hard. Every single day I get up, and every single day I do the things. And sometimes by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's like, whew, that's okay. I have had a day and I'm eating Doritos. That's why I have 5 chins. But I don't lament that choice anymore, because first of all, I'm not interested in what other people think. And secondly, it's a choice that I already know I'm making with full knowledge of what I'm doing. And I'm responsible for that, and I own that, and it's okay. Can't eat salad all the time. And, you can't even get salad at the store all the time right now. The thing is the work is hard every single day. But I have found 2 things to be true. Flying without a net is the surest way to be excellent at something, because it's like the difference between band practice and the real thing. Band practice, you think you're ready. Listen, we're going to go through it like all the way through, just like we're going to do it. Yeah, but you're still in the band room, and Stuff can, there is nothing like the live show. And that's when you perform your best, when you don't have a net. It's a human thing. And the second thing is, pardon me, we perform better without a net. But we also perform better coming from a place of love. I mean, we come at things from a place of fear or a place of distrust or a place of bad experience or anything else that our subconscious is got in there to keep us safe. We want to keep you safe. That's what they're wired to do. The brain is to keep you safe. We don't want you to be in a bad situation. We don't want you to be crushed by having your feelings hurt, or we don't want you to, feel bad. Your brain protects you from that. So we change the things our subconscious does with our self-talk. We don't have to worry about all that anymore. And it's a huge bag that we can just put over there. Fresh eyes on any subject, on any problem, on any situation. There's a solution. It's hard to get a perspective when it's you and you're living it. It really is. I find that for me, when that starts to happen, taking a walk, getting busy, do a sink of dishes, help somebody else, focus on somebody else for a while, anything to give me perspective. And then when I come back to it, it's not a problem anymore that I can't handle. It's just there, and I have a different perspective. It's one of those things that we cannot take a quick fix. It would be nice if there were quick fixes. I really like that I can't that I thought about the lottery thing, because that just applies all over the place. And you did ask about finances. If we don't commit to ourselves that we want to have good lives, we want to have lives where we feel good, where we're happy to get up in the morning, we're happy to interact during the day, we're happy to get the things done, we feel like we've contributed something positive, then we have that good feeling on the inside, right? And that's a choice every day, and it's choices all day. So many people, including me for a while, just kind of cruise, and they don't take any definitive action in their own lives. They just kind of watch things go by. And I never was happy with that, but I didn't know what to do about it. And then I decided I had to do something, and it didn't really matter what it was. One thing leads to the next thing, the next thing. Taking action is the only way I know to really make a difference. I also highly recommend breathing and meditation, deep breathing and meditation or prayer, or both at the same time. I highly recommend that. And I don't mean to offend anyone who might watch this and is not religious. Meditation, if you understand the universe, that's what that's about. We're coming up on 30 minutes. I've just kind of talked and talked, but I've been looking at Angela's comments. Apparently I made you laugh, and you've agreed with me. God, you're so wonderful. Anyone who watches this on replay, please give me on the comments a hashtag replay if you have any questions or comments or anything you'd like me to elaborate on. I just kind of had to hit this today because it was right in front of me. That's what was in front of me this morning after my meditation. Yesterday when I wrote the blog post. Part 4 is going to be on Friday. I'm not exactly sure what the title is going to be, but it's going to be, let's see. Okay. We're probably going to get into, I don't know, we'll find out. Let's make it a surprise. I'll post it on Thursday. Like I said, if you watched it on replay and you're interested, let me tell you this before we go. If you comment and ask me, I have a free PDF that I will give you called Morning Routine. It's something to help get you started. Suggestions on one page, and then a place for you to just make your morning routine. I promise you, this one simple thing has made every bit of difference in my life. I have a free PDF I will send you. You have to ask for it in the comments, and then I'll DM you and we'll send it to the email. Thanks for watching, and my God, Angela, I love you so much. And I will see you on Friday. Don't forget, if you are not a member of my group, the Excellence in Vision, you're welcome to DM me or put that in the comments as well. I'll let you know how to join. I love you, Angela. Love to everybody. I will see you on Friday. Peace out.